Welcome to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about weather forecasting. Before going to weather forecasting topic, so why we need to talk about weather forecasting means the weather forecasting is highly helpful for agriculture and non-agriculture areas. The word weather forecasting in meteorology was first applied by Admiral Fitzroy. So, first, what is meant by weather forecasting? The statement of anticipated meteorological condition. So, we have to predict the weather for specified place or area or any route during the specific time. So that is called as a weather forecasting. Okay, what is the other one definition? It is a application oriented. Science and technology, using science and technology to predict the state of the atmosphere for a given location. So that is called as a weather forecasting. So first the weather forecasting, the word used by Admiral Fitzroy. Simply the weather forecasting nothing but to predict the weather. Okay, what are the weather forecasting procedures? First, we need to record the weather data. So what are the weather? In previous YouTube video, we discussed about list of weather parameters. So what are the weather parameters? Temperature, pressure, wind, in the wind direction, wind speed, cloudiness, humidity, precipitation. These are all we discussed. So we have to record. For example, what are the things we can record? If temperature, so temperature, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, or cardinal temperature, we have to record. Diurnal temperature, like that. Pressure, atmospheric pressure, need to record. Wind speed, need to record. Direction, wind direction, need to record. Like that. Cloudiness, need to record. Humidity, need to record. And followed by precipitation, need to record. And that precipitation, particularly rainfall, we need to record. And even dew, fog, this also we need to record. And like storms. So this all we have to record in particular place and particular time. So first procedure for weather forecasting, recording the all the weather parameters. Okay. What is the next step? So next step is this one. Collection. So if example one place you are recording, again another place you are recording, like that in different places they are recording the weather data. After that, in second step, we have to collect all the weather data from the weather observatories. There are mainly two observatories there. One is a principal observatory, another one is ordinary observatory, and the third one is we are talking about nowadays automatic weather station. So from this, all the wherever the availability is there, we need to collect all the weather data in the different places. So including land observatories and ocean surface observatories. So everything we need to collect the data. After collecting the data, we have to transfer of the weather data to the weather station and to the subsenders. So this is the main thing. From there to again it will be forecasted to the general public, farmers, weather forecasters. So to all the people, whoever needed for weather forecasting details, everyone will get the benefit. So this is the procedure. First thing is recording, second thing is collection and the transformation of the data. Okay. How? What are the steps we are following? First one is compilation of the weather data. All the data we need to compile and we have to plot the weather data in the maps. So we have to collect the data and after that collecting we have to compile. After compiling we have to plot the weather data on the maps and we have to daily weather data records we have to make and we have to make the synaptic chart also. After that we have to analyze the weather charts and maps with the using of the electronical systems, particularly using computers we need to analyze. After analyzing everything, we have to give the forecast of the weather in the general public. And we have to use it through numerical modeling also. This is the basic steps. Okay. What are the services? So the information of weather forecasting will be used for transaction based, workflow based, content based. So how this all weather data, how it will reach to the farmers means through newspaper, through internet, through customer care, through mobile apps, through TVs, through radios. There are nowadays lot of technologies are there through websites, through messages. We can transfer the data. So what are the possibilities ways that are there? We need to transfer the data means weather forecasting how to bringing to the delivering to the general public. Okay. Next. Okay. If weather forecasting service is there, so what are the things who are all will get benefit? I told already it is not only for agriculture sector, not only for forestry, not only for animal husbandry, not only for navy people. So what who are all people will get benefit? First thing is for agriculture, including forestry and animal husbandry areas, shipping people, mercantiles, naval, and offshore drilling areas, defense services, aviation people, civil services, civil people, military people, government and post officials, and from that we have to mountaineering, fishing areas, and general public people. From this all we have to predict the different weather parameters. Okay. What are the characteristics of the weather forecast? So, if example we are giving the weather forecast, what are the characteristics we need to see? So, whatever weather forecasting is there, that all probability based. In particular time, particular place, it's a probabilitical based. It is one of the dominant technology. Based on the temporal range, validity will change. And based on the input and output, particular place and time will be changed based on the resolution. It is need broadcasting also. And the whatever weather forecasting we are giving, that should be accuracy should be mandatory. And it will be useful to the general public and related area people. So these are all the some of the characteristics of the weather forecast. Okay. Why? What is the reason for or importance of forecasting? Okay. Basically, the weather forecasting have impact on society and economic. If example, they are giving weather forecasting. So once based on the weather forecasting, the farmers can decide to harvest the crop either today or tomorrow or next week or before we need to if next week they are giving cyclone. So we have to harvest this week itself. Like that, farmers can decide. Like that, every people traveling. So whoever this it is like weather forecasting. It is everywhere. Any nowadays everyone have you need to. For example, general public people are need to travel. So in road we need to travel. So they are forecasted. So today we will get the heavy rainfall or heavy wind. So he can postpone the travel or he can stop the vehicle somewhere and we have to wait. So like that, everywhere it will impact. So particularly the weather forecasting is impacting the social and economical in particular place. Okay. What is the next thing? It will come for agriculture point of view. It influences the crop production. So based on the weather forecast, from field preparation to even post harvest, transportation, everything we can decide based on the weather forecast. The rainfall. If example, among the weather forecasting, very important weather parameter is rainfall. So what is the benefit? So based on the rainfall, the farmers can decide the what type of crops can grow, when to sow the crop, when to prepare the field. So if the weather forecasting the farmers came to know, the farmers can decide what type of crop, what type of variety, when to sow, how to sow, everything he can decide. Finally, he will get the good yield that will improve our Indian economy through agriculture. It will be helpful for GDP, agriculture GDP also. And another important thing is planning of moisture conservation practice. Not only moisture conservation practice, all intercultural operation. The farmers can decide based on the weather forecasting. Okay, under weak monsoon condition. So based on the example, you will get rainfall. So no need to give irrigation. There is no rainfall. Then you have to plant the irrigation. Like that, all the intercultural operation can decide based on the weather forecasting. Next, reliable weather forecasting when disseminated appropriately will pay way for the effective sustainability. And this weather forecasting minimizing the damage. which may caused directly or indirectly by unfavorable weather. So if any unfavorable weather condition, it will damage the crop or it damage the crop production. If came to know that whether in we have to predict and we know came to know that this weather forecasting weathers will occur by upcoming days, upcoming hours. So it can reduce the risk. Farmers are having the less risk and minimize the damage. And particularly pest and disease. If example humidity is more, they are forecasting. So they have chances there pest and disease. So farmers can take the advance means they can take the some measurement. So they can take either they will control the pest and disease or they can do the precaution measures. So farmers can decide based on their needs. And if you will go for the stocks, if example the next 1 2 weeks a continuous rainfall is there, you cannot transport your grains or produce. So price may be declined. So what we'll do instead of selling in that based on the weather, you have to store the grains or produce in the storage warehouse or godowns. When the price is increasing, that time you can forecast. That time you have to based on the forecast, you can decide when to sell, how to sell, where to sell, and due to this we have to minimize the irrigation facilities or irrigation also. So we have to use the water judiciously. These are only some of the basic advantage or in importance why the weather forecast in particularly in agriculture sector. Okay, now here what are the types? Second foremost important thing is type of weather forecasting. What are the different types? Okay, here there are three types of weather forecasting is there. One is short range weather forecasting, second one is medium range weather forecasting, and the third one is long range weather forecasting. Short range means the duration of the validity or expiry date is very less days, less hours. Medium means the days is very medium range. Long range means it will be month or season like that. So one by one we'll see. Short range weather forecasting. Here the short range means I already told it is a minimum hours. Duration hours is very less compared to medium and long range. In that short range weather forecasting, again they are dividing three type of weather forecasting. One is nowcasting, second one is very short range very short range forecasting, and the third one is short range weather forecasting. Okay, nowcasting is nothing but where the validity period is less than 24 hours. Where the very short range means up to 24 hours, short range means up to 24 to 72 hours. Okay, who are all will get benefit? Farmers, marine people, general public. Mostly this type of things, more people will get benefit means farmers, marine people, and general public. These three people are highly helpful by the short range weather forecasting. Accuracy, that is very important. The short range forecasting will having the more accuracy, should be have more accuracy, more than 80, 70 to 80, at least 70 to 80% accuracy should be there because of that range is very less. So definitely the accuracy should be more. Okay, what can in that short range weather forecasting, what are the things they can predict? One is rainfall distribution, heavy rainfall, low rainfall, heat, cold waves, thunderstorms, wind direction, wind speed. This all they can predict in the short range weather forecasting. What are the uses will be there in agriculture point of view only I am going to cover. Based on the weather forecasting, the farmer means short range weather forecasting, farmers can decide schedule the irrigation either today or tomorrow, or we can postpone 1 week, 1 or 2 days, or time of agriculture operation. If suddenly rainfall is weather forecast they are doing within 24 hours, you will get the rainfall. Then farmers what they will do? They will not. They want to go for spraying. So suddenly they are forecasting within 24 hours. Either he should spray now itself, otherwise he can postpone. So the farmers can decide based on this short range weather forecasting, he can postpone or prepone. So these are only some of the uses. When we are coming for medium range weather forecasting, this is called as a NCMRWF, means National Center Medium Range Weather Forecasting. In the year of 1988 it's established. So what is the duration means? From 3 days to up to 10 days. The validity period is 3 days to 10 days. So highly, this medium range weather forecasting is highly helpful for the particularly farmers compared to the general public. The farmers having the more helpful this medium range weather forecasting. So accuracy range is 60 to 70%. Why less than the short range means when the duration is increasing, it is a nature one. When duration is increasing, we cannot predict 100% or 80%, 90%, we cannot predict. That's the reason the accuracy level is 60 to 70%. So what are the things we can predict? Rainfall. Within next week, within 4 days, you will get the rainfall. Then next week, the high temperature will be there, or next week, cold wave will be there. So all we can they can predict. Based on this, here the medium range weather forecasting is the one of the important part to decide the sowing time. What type of crops they can choose. Everything they based on the medium range weather forecasting. Particularly sowing time, when to scheduling irrigation, how decision for harvesting. If example they will give the forecast. Next week, whole week there is a heavy rainfall. Then what the farmers will do? Either the crop under 95% maturity means they will harvest today, or almost 90 to 93% also they will harvest today. Or it's not possible. 70% only, 80% only is there. Next week only 90%, 95% attaining. The what farmer they will do? They will postpone the harvesting dates and the time of spraying. That is very important. So when to spray, how to spray, everything they will decide based on the medium range weather forecasting. And these all some of the important uses for the medium range weather forecasting. And the third one is long range weather forecasting. Long range weather forecasting means 10 days. The validity is more than 10 days up to either month or season. This is highly helpful for planners who are all having getting benefits, particularly planners. So accuracy level is definitely it will be less because of the period of expiry date duration is it's a month or season 6 month. Next 6 month what will happen like that they will give the forecast means definitely some changes will be there. That's why accuracy level is only 50 to 60%. Here they are going to give the monsoon. Okay, coming year, this season. If example 2025, it is a this year 2025 at present May month. So coming June month when the forecast when the southwest monsoon will start in India, either first fortnight or second fortnight. So they will decide based on the this thing they will decide, and when withdrawal of monsoon will be there. Everything they will get the through long range forecasting. Based on this, they will design soil moisture management. If example, they are forecasting the first week, June first fortnight, there is no initiation of the monsoon. Then what will happen? It will go for June end, July first. The monsoon is delaying. So based on that, farmers will decide what type of crop to choose. We will do field preparation now or not. Selection of crops. We will, if example, he planted one paddy. If example paddy, direct seeded paddy he selected, but suddenly what happened? Monsoon is delayed. If monsoon is delayed means it either he should choose short duration paddy. It's not possible. Then he can choose for other crops. So instead of paddy, he can choose pulses or millets. So, like that cropping pattern, which type of cropping pattern he can choose. If example, he is getting sufficient rainfall, then he can instead of single crop, he can go for intercrop. So, based on this long range forecasting, the planners can decide the what type of crops, what type of variety, what type of soil moisture conservation, what type of irrigation, everything they can choose. So, this is the types of weather forecasting. Now, agro advisory services. How? What are this called is simply we will abbreviate is AAS services. AAS. Okay. What are the agro advisory services? Means this agriculture relation to weather is almost the third century of BC they started. So these are some of the hints I given here. I think don't want to discuss this all. This is just for your reference purpose I given. Okay. First, AS Agro Advisory Services, National Center Medium Range Weather Forecasting in the year of 19.
88. What is the main objective means? Here, this through this forecast, 127 agroclimatical zone. That time, it's a almost small areas. So now 15 agroclimatical zones are we are giving the forecast. Here, agrometeorological field units also there. From that also they will collect the information through different agrometeorological field units and state agriculture university agro advisories. Normally, Indian Meteorological Department, it will give the weather forecasting every through agro advisory service. It will issue bi-weekly. So agro advisory service bulletin will issue by the IMD every weekly twice. One is Tuesday, another one is Friday. So every Tuesday and Friday they will give the agro advisory service weather forecasting. Okay, what are the format of agro advisory service? Here, weather summary of the last week. So this week we are giving forecast means in that list, in that agro advisory service, all four last week data will be there. Forecast weather data will be there, and here they will mention phenological stages of the crop at present in this village or in this district. What all the crops are there? What are the crop stages? It is a flowering stage, or vegetative stage, or germination stage, or sowing stage. So what every phenological stages are there. Crop stress condition. If example, Warangal region is there, in Telangana, Warangal region. So in that Warangal region, some crops are under water stress condition. So what are the crops are water stress condition? Which area? So everything they will mention. And what are the crops are there? What type of pest and diseases may can occur during upcoming weeks? That also will be there. And what weather happenings will be there, and growth phases of the different crops. For example, pulses is there. Some, because all the areas, all the crops will not be same. Different crops. So this crop, for example, pulses one area. Pulses, for example, will take one area black gram, another area pearl millet, another area chili. Like that, different crops areas will be there. So different crops, different stages, phenological stage will be there. Different pest will may occur. So every stage wise details will be there. What type of, for example, black gram is there. What is the stage? It is a pod formation stage. So then what is the weather condition? In this weather condition, what type of pest will occur? What type of disease will occur? Then how to manage everything, like that chili, like that all agriculture, horticulture crops, they will give the details based on the what type of crops they are growing in the region. Like that each and every districts, places and state wise they will give the weather forecasting through agro advisory services. Okay, here in database, what are the, if example, agro advisory service bulletin need to prepare? What are the data need? First thing is general information of the area. If example, one village is there, one district is there. In that district, they need to know the all the type of general information. Okay, how many acres are there? Arable land area. In that arable land area, what all the crops are growing at this year? What all the crops are growing? How many, if example, paddy, how much acre? Chili, how many acre? Maize, how many acre? Tobacco, how many acre? Like that, every details they will collect. That information should be there. And what type of soil? And what type of irrigation source? Every detail. Soil characteristics, crop information, irrigation source, well irrigation, or river irrigation, lifting irrigation, or borewell irrigation. So every details will be, are purely rain fed. Everything will be there. And climatic data, all weather data in your particular area. What is the maximum temperature, minimum temperature this season, this month? What is the minimum air temperature and minimum maximum temperature, humidity, and wind speed, wind direction, and what type of pest disease? If example particular crop is there, in this crop, in this situation, this type of pest may occur, this type of disease will occur. Every detail will be there. And weather sensitive operation. So if example, in that agro advisory preparation, if, while preparing, weather sensitive operation should be there. If example, suddenly one high humidity is occurring, what type of pest will occur? So that information, everything will be needed for before preparation of the agro advisory service in preparation. Okay, in that, what are the weather information needed? One is weather summary of the recent. What are the weather summaries are there last week? That should be there. Climatic normals will be there. Maximum all the climatic normals data should be there. Weather forecast should be there. Probability, initial and conditional probability is there. And variability analysis is there. standard deviation and coefficient of variation, and actually significant rains should be there, and agrometeorological information including crop moisture index, drought severity index. These are all the details basically needed for the agro advisory preparation under the category of weather information. Okay, what are the crop information? So information first followed by weather and crop information, we have to present the crop status, which stage of the it's simply phenological stage, what are the crops are there and what type of, how much acre, what are the crops, what stage, and infection of the pest, what type of pest is there, what type of disease is there, that severity, 100% severe pest is there, or 90% or 70% damage is there, everything we need to give. And crop stresses, either water stress, nutrient stress, or temperature stress. This all information should be needed for the preparation of AAS. And soil information, what are the spatial distribution of the soil, what is the soil type, physiochemical properties, soil structure, NPK level, everything, nutrient status, moisture status, elevation, it's a topographic level, it's a 2% or 16% or 6%, every elevation level, and contour level, and slope of the soil. This all information should be needed. And what are the some other minor information needed for topography of the general area region, land cover, land uses, what are the irrigation facilities, and what are the inputs, market trends. This all should be needed. And additional some of the tools needed for length of growing period, seed zone, and crop weather calendar, and pest calendar. These are all the some of the additionally, other than the agro advisory, these are all the things we for means EMD can give, they are giving to the farmers to know the weather forecast. So length of growing period, seed zone, and soil moisture, and crop weather calendar, and pest weather calendar. Okay, what are the essentiality for preparation of agro advisory services? Okay, here real-time information of the crops, that is very important. What is the major crop growth, time of seeding, phenological stages, and field preparation, the emergence of seedling, fertilizer application, irrigation, sowing to up to harvesting, what are the things should be there, everything need to give the details, and what are the operations you are planning, and what is the reliable source, if example field visit by agriculture extension officer and from the state department, and diagnostic field visits were conducted by the university, what type of language we need to give to the farmers, English or local language, so everything, or combined farmer. Okay, these are all the some of the necessary things to prepare the agro advisory services. Okay, next, what are the process involved in preparation of agro advisory services? First thing is weather condition. After that, weather condition will be recorded in the weather station. After that, it will be data will be decoded. After that, data will be transferred. After that, it will be black level dissemination of AAS, and dissemination of AAS through air, means through TV, newspaper, email, phone, messages, and it will reach to the farmers. Based on that, farmers can do the operations, works in the field. Okay, what are the benefit? This is a very important part. If example, we will take one example for field preparation. Based on the weather parameter, weather forecasting, we can do summer flowing. If example, June first fortnight, if example, June 8th, the southwest monsoon will start. Like that forecast they are giving. So what we'll do, May end itself, we have our May 20th or 25th, we will start to plow the land using the primary tillage. So summer flow will do. So that is the, what is the benefit? Once you are doing summer flow, it will reduce the pest and disease, soil-borne pest and disease will control for upcoming forthcoming season of the monsoon. Okay. Second thing, date of sowing. Based on the weather forecasting, means particularly rain forecasting, when to sow. If example, June 8th the forecasting, then we can sow June 7th. Or June 10th they are giving, June 9th. So time of sowing we can decide to better crop establishment and population maintenance. So some examples are given. Okay, seedling emergence. Light irrigation helpful in better seedling emergence. If example, forecast they are giving, there is no rainfall. Right? If example, sown you are sown June 8, suddenly June 9 and 10 there is no rainfall. So that day you have to give the life-saving irrigation. So then we can give the irrigation to the crops. Or third day you are getting rainfall, no need to give the irrigation. So based on that we can decide. Fertilizer application, time of fertilizer application can decide by the weather forecasting. And irrigation, same, we can rainfall is occurring means no need to give irrigation. Heat waves is there, you can give the irrigation. Cold waves is there, then you can irrigation warm up with the soil temperature, encourage the physiological activity. So based on the weather condition, you can decide will give irrigation or not. Light irrigation will give, heavy irrigation will give, or will go for the no need to give irrigation. So everything we can decide based on this forecasting. So this is regarding some of the examples I given. Outbreak of pest and disease. What are the favorable conditions? If example groundnut leaf miner is there. Okay, what is the condition? If example groundnut leaf miner will come in the what circumstance? When the temperature is maximum temperature is rising 2.3 to 5 degrees Celsius, the minimum temperature reaching to the 22 degrees Celsius, and when the reaching relative humidity greater than 80%, sunshine hours is less than 5 hours, rainfall is continuing including traces consecutively for 3 days. This 5 condition, if groundnut crop is there in the field, possibility for leaf miner. Okay, so that can decide. So based on that we can take the measurement. Okay, next followed by agro advisory services, we can go for the another one tool. Agro advisory means weather forecasting tool is synaptic chart and maps. This is one interesting factor. Through indication we can decide that which type of weather forecasting. So here they are going to discuss about weather codes, standard weather, SWC, standard weather codes. Using that the weather forecasting will be there. So if example there are two type of weather forecast, and the synaptic chart is there. One is surface synaptic chart, another one is upper upper air chart will be there. Two type of weather server nowadays they are using. You see, in that synaptic chart displayed the weather condition at the specific time over the larger geographical area. So it is not only it's like 1 hour, 2 hour. It is every 3 o'clock, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21, like that. Based on the universal time coordination, they will give, including pressure, temperature, dew point, cloudiness, wind speed, wind direction, and past all the weather parameters. Okay, there are two type of weather charts are there in synaptic chart. One is surface, another one is upper air charts. Okay, the surface synaptic charts are mostly used compared to the upper air synaptic chart. The surface synaptic charts are mostly used. So here, if example, here what all the contents will be there means maximum number of observation with more elements plotted based on the different characteristics. If example, what are the indication will be there? Isobar, close, ridges, lows, high, depression, cyclones, calamants, fronts, and discontinuous continuous. This all will be clearly marked in the different indication of the weather codes and different symbols and colors. So these observation are plotted according to the standard station model prescribed by the World Meteorological Organization. You see some example I given. In the synaptic chart, narrow black lines are there. That is indicating the isobar, equal temperature, equal atmospheric pressure, and numbers at end of the isobar. Numbers at the end of the isobar means that will be indicating the pressure value. Shadings are there, that is indicating precipitation. Arrows are there, that is indicating that wind direction. Feathers in arrows means which is wind velocity. In this shading with small circles are there, that is amount of clouds. So now you see this picture, you will understand. You see, these are all the some of the examples. These are all the weather codes. For example, this comma symbol is there. This is indicating the drizzle. This down arrow mark is lightning. This triangular with the black colored means hail. This same empty circle means clear sky. You see here they indicated this. This all. So clear sky means empty circle. Partially means 1/4. Cloudy means 3/4. Overcast means completely black. And rain means in round inside R will be there. And fog means round inside F will be there. So these are all the some of the weather code symbols. You see dot means rain. Two dots means continuous light rain. So these are the some of the examples. Okay. This is synaptic chart. Another one thing is crop weather calendar, CWC, crop weather calendar. So weather forecasting should be familiar with the crop grown in agroclimatical zones to the providing the different efficient weather services. Okay. How? Here it highly helpful for the farmers. Along with the crop phenological stages, the weather codes will be present. So that is comes under crop weather calendar. This is one of the very highly helpful. If this crop weather calendar, how they will give means based on the crop wise, separate calendar will be there. If example cotton, separate crop weather calendar, paddy, separate weather calendar. If example from sowing to up to harvesting, phenological stage wise, all other in this stage, this temperature will be there. In this stage, this temperature will be there, and the humidity will be there. So, what are the possibility pesticides will be there? How to manage every detail will be there in the one weather calendar itself. So, how they will prepare preparation of the weather for calendar? How it will be there means crop weather calendar. Here, the data of sowing varieties. This everything will be present in that forecast needed. All the details. If example, sudden rises in maximum temperature from 2.3 to 5 degrees Celsius. It is indicating that I already told now leaf groundnut leaf miner will be there at the 35 days after sowing. This every details will be present. I will show the picture. So in that crop weather calendar, there are I will show first this. You see, there are three parts will be there. You see here in this picture, you will understand. Okay, this is the crop weather calendar. You see, this is a crop weather calendar in down place. I will explain about there are three parts. What all the parts are there means one is bottom part, middle part, top part. Bottom part is providing the crop or information related to the phenological stages. So here the crop phenological stages will be there month wise. Bottom part. Middle part, it will giving the normal weather condition required activity growth. It is divided into different section according to the rainfall data will be there, rainy days will be there, minimum temperature, maximum temperature, pan evaporation, sunshine hours, humidity. Every weather details will be there in the middle part. In top part, weather abnormal condition will be there. Details will be there. If example, dry spell, how many days, high wind speed, heavy rainfall, drought, flood, cloudy weather, high humidity, low pressure, high pressure. This all the weather abnormalities will be present in the top part of the top weather calendar. You see this picture. These are all the just codes will be there up, middle, and bottom part. So here I will show the last picture, easily will understand. Here you see in bottom crop details will be there, including month wise, standard weeks are there, and crop details showing when which month. For example, December, this week 15th standard week, sowing season will start, and followed by germination, vegetative stage, flowering stage, picking stage, post. So all the details stage wise will be there. Here weather details, rainfall, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, every details will be there in the middle. In upper part, maximum temperature, what are the abnormal weather condition, what type of things will be there, means in which stage, what type of weather abnormalities will be there, what type of disease will or pest or issues will be occur in the stage. So like that, if example you see wilt will occur in this stage, stem weevils will occur, bollworms will come, like that. All the details will be there. Drought will occur, cloudy weather will be there, high wind speed will be there, at what days. Then according to that, we will make the management practices. Here in top part, the state, which state that crop weather calendar, what district, crop, variety detail, duration of the crop, irrigated or non-irrigated or soil. These all details will be present in the crop weather calendar. So this is the in this lecture we discussed about this all. One is what is by weather forecasting, and what are the different type of weather forecasting, and followed by what are the different weather forecasting services are the agro advisory services, synaptic charts, and a crop weather calendar. Okay. That's all about this crop weather forecasting and their uses. Thank you.